Where was Grandpa born?
Gouveia, Gouveia, Portugal, which is about 2 or 3 hours northeast of Lisbon.
And where was Vova born?
She grew up in Évora, Evora, but she was born elsewhere.
El Portal de San Bras.
See, that's right. And Évora is about 2 hours east of Lisbon.
So how did they meet?
I think they came over to the United States as children with their separate families. They eventually landed in New York. My mother has told me that she remembers landing in Providence. Anyway, they met in New York. They got married in 1927 in New York and then moved to New Bedford. In New York, they lived in a Portuguese community where a lot of Portuguese people were living. And then they moved to New Bedford, which also had a very large Portuguese population.
How old were they when they got married?
With 1927, I don't know.
Do you know, so did they land in New York? Did they land at Long Island?
Yeah.
Do you know where?
I don't know where they landed, but my mother insists that she was in Providence. So there's a good chance they landed at Ellis Island. I don't know that. And somehow they were shipped over to Providence. That's a lot. My mother's often told me she remembers going into Providence.
Do you know how long they stayed in New York or where
No.
the Portuguese community is?
No.
So once they came to New Bedford, how did they come to Lucy Little Road?
I think my father bought 3 acres of land in South Dartmouth in the early 60s. I was living in California at that time.
Do you know how much he paid for the land?
I don't remember, but I would guess and say maybe $3,000. I don't think that's correct, but I'm guessing.
Probably Dolores might know.
Dolores would know.
And so I understand that Grandpa had that house built, or did he build it?
No, he had it built. He had it built.
So what are your memories of Lucy Little Road, even though you didn't live there?
I have no memory. The first time we saw Lucy Little Road was in 1950. The first time I saw Lucy Little Road was in 1957 when my sister Alda died, and baby Debbie and I flew back, and Grandpa and Johnny Santos, who was married to Alda, picked me up at New Bedford Airport and took me to Lucy Little Road. That's the first and only time. And that was the first time I saw Lucy Little Road. And we stayed there maybe a week or so, went to the funeral and all that stuff.
And what's your fondest memory of Alda?
She was quiet. She was very sick. She had what we call the pneumatic heart. She was liked by everybody.
She was a very pretty girl.